Hey mamas, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Drama Mama. Listen, there's few things in life that you can just always count on. You know, things that are going to be always there no matter what, your whole life. And no matter what and no matter when, there will always be insane psychopaths that romanticize serial killers. As long as there are serial killers walking this earth, there will be people that for some reason are attracted to them. This is such a phenomenon to me because it really makes absolutely zero sense. Like, most things, I think it's easy to get to the root of why people are the way they are, but I think we need like a team of like every psychologist in the world to figure out what is compelling people to go on TikTok and make edits of Jeffrey Dahmer, a man who literally cut up people and ate them. And there's people making... I was scrolling through TikTok this morning expecting some fun little cat videos, maybe a little sushi recipe, something spicy. And what do I see? I see a video of, it's a clip of Evan Peters, dancing and gyrating while playing the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, who killed 17 teen boys and ate them to, like, what's the song? It's like, still my blood and still my heart. Is that where we are as society? Like, that is just part of TikTok now? Is serial killer edits? Listen, this happened. Also, excuse the running water noise literally right next to my head. Someone in the building took apparently the world's largest dookie, and it is inches from my head and going through the walls. So let me really put y'all up to the wall so you can hear. Oh, it's slowing. Okay. So let me name a few serial killers that I've really seen this effect on. I had to look them up because these serial killers are just not occupying much space in my mind because they are serial killers and genuinely terrifying. So I choose not to think about them. And I choose not to really give them the time of day, as most normal people do. There was Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. There was a Netflix documentary that talked about him. Ted Bundy, who I guess was more on the charming side of the serial killer charm to incel scale. I don't know. There's Jeffrey Dahmer, who we'll talk about a lot today. Charles Manson, it goes on. But Jeffrey Dahmer is he's really popping right now. No. He's very much all over TikTok right now because Netflix just made a show called Dahmer, which I started watching. I'm on episode 3. I have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, they're we want to do the victims justice. We want to show their story. But at the same time, it's genuinely just romanticizing and dramatizing what happened to them. To truly do justice to the stories of victims of serial killers is to maybe do a documentary where you're showing really what happened. Not having Evan Peters, who people are obviously gonna swoon over because he was the Tate from freaking American Horror Story, and he just plays characters that people are gonna make edits to. Y'all consciously casted him to play Jeffrey Dahmer. That is an active choice. Get someone real busted to play him. Get Ed Sheeran to play Jeffrey Dahmer. That would be scary. No one would be making edits at that point. Get freaking no, really, get Ed Sheeran. Call him up. He was on Game of Thrones one episode. I'm sure he can act. I'm sure he can play a killer. His music freaking kills my ears already. So, me 5 episodes saying I'm not going to be a hater anymore. and I'm gonna leave Ed Sheeran alone, me today, cast him as a serial killer. So, like, that's one problem that I had with the show. The other problem is, like, it's so clearly not about the victims. Like, the whole it's called Dahmer, so the show is clearly about him, and it's like it's hard to kind of like frame a show that's like still gonna be watchable, but like when it's like about, say they made it like only about the victims, like a lot of them are just like living like regular lives. So if you're going for entertainment, you're not going to get much from that. So like, of course they're making like the entertainment factor, like the horror and the shock of it. But that's like real people who died and real families that are still alive. They're still dealing with that, dealing with the fact that their like literal children were killed and eaten by Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, maybe don't create a show for entertainment about that. Maybe find something else. Maybe make a live action version of Cocomelon. Maybe make another Paw Patrol movie. I don't know. Give us Avatar 2 and 3 already. Something like that. Maybe we don't need another serial killer show. Which also, by the way, I didn't realize that Ross Lynch was also in a serial killer movie. Which once again, like, people go crazy on TikTok and Twitter about Ross Lynch. So why not cast him as a serial killer? Amazing work, Hollywood. So that's kind of how I feel about the show. Now, of course, people are already clipping it, already recording bits and pieces. Okay, so here's the thing, like, there's the people that watch Dahmer, okay? A lot of people, which, you know, isn't, like, inherently bad. Like, it's the number one show on Netflix right now. So there's a lot of people watching Dahmer, and within that, there's people making edits. Which is, like, obviously a very small amount. It's not like every single person that watches Dahmer is like, oh my god, open Video Star right now! No, like, that's not happening. It's, like, a very small amount of people are making edits. Now, a good chunk of those people making those edits are being, like, very clear in the captions, and in the comments being like, disclaimer, this is a Evan Peters edit, like, showing his emotional range, showing how good he is of an actor, or maybe they're just fawning over Evan Peters. They're like, I love Evan Peters. Evan Peters, throw me against the wall. Live your fantasy, live your Evan Peters dreams, like, that is pretty much no problem. And then within those people that are editing the show are the genuine psychopaths that are actually, like, romantically, like, attracted to the concept and the idea of Jeffrey Dahmer. And those are the real freaks. Like, genuinely, if you know anyone at your school that is, like, attracted to serial killers, bully them. I'm giving y'all, Ben of the Week is giving y'all the bully pass on this one. Bully your local psycho, or your local serial killer romanticizer. Because they've lost their damn minds. So, it makes no sense to me how you it's not like they're like, oh, him as a person was just so cool and attractive, and I feel bad for him that he had this tough life. It's not like they're, like, attracted to the underdogness. Maybe they are, but still, that's not, like, a compelling reason. They're fully aware of what these serial killers are doing, and specifically with freaking Jeffrey Dahmer, they are fully aware. Oh my god, that he killed 17 people in horrific ways, which the Netflix series kind of shows, he did by literally using his white privilege as an advantage, and then living in a mostly black neighborhood, and then preying on mostly black victims, knowing that the police wouldn't touch him. knowing he did that, and then also essaying them, drilling holes in their head and eating them, and you are making an edit to like an Omar Apollo song. Oh my God. Like, genuinely, people have lost their minds. Like, how chronically online do you have to be? I have a vision. I have a vision where in the future, if I was president today, the first law I would pass, the first executive order that I would pass, the law of the land would be, if you are gonna make edits online, you have to display them in a public square. You have to go down every Sunday, just like just like the Hunger Games when they were like picking people's names. Everyone's gathering in the town square and we're all watching your edits. We are watching your edits on a giant projector screen. We're seeing all your anime edits, and you have to stand up on the stage. You have to say, hello, my name is Psychopathic Freak, and here is the Jeffrey Dahmer edit that I made. And then you have to stand there, and everyone has to watch. That is the level of public humiliation we need for these Jeffrey Dahmer edit people. Like, how do you get that comfortable on the internet? Like, listen, if that's like a feeling that you were having in your head, like, talk to a therapist, A, and B, try and like work through that so that you don't feel that way anymore, because that is a genuine, horrible attraction to have and is so unnatural. So work through that. But B, don't share it online. My God, like where are we at on the internet that this is like a conversation we have to have, that we have to be like, hey, maybe making edits of people that did immonstrable damage to families and killed dozens of people. Maybe edit something else. Do you like anime? Do you like Riverdale? Do you like anything? Do you like any single thing other than people that murdered dozens of human beings? Can you find any other thing that you can be a fan of? You like K-pop? You like Blackpink? They just released an album. Tons of fan cams online for you to edit of that available for you. No, you still want to edit Jeffrey Dahmer and upload that to TikTok.com. That's your final decision. Oh my God. Lost their damn minds. Now, I want to kind of like talk about like true crime as like a broader genre, because, you know, you see flavors of this in like the whole true crime community. And I'm not saying that if you like enjoy true crime or enjoy true crime podcasts or documentaries that you're like a psychopath or anything like that. That's not what I mean. But if it was a Venn diagram, the two things share some similarities. And there's some of y'all that are in both parts of the cookie, how it crumbles. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm really just saying words right now. Also, I remembered I'm wearing a ton of green in front of a green screen because I am a genius. So true crime has like, I tried to get into it at one point when it was like really in its heyday, because a lot of my friends were listening to it. They're like, you gotta listen to Serial. You gotta listen to this true crime podcast. It's so good. So I gave it a shot, and I really couldn't get into it. I just get distracted so easily. I need like a goofy ass podcast with like, I can't have a podcast where it's like 8 a.m. 8:02 a.m. December 31st. That's not even a fucking day. I just said December 31st. December 31st, 1992. Bob Burger was walking to the store. And it's like they like break down, like, say a murder or something in like the most excruciating detail. I'm not the police. I am not an investigator. I'm not a PI, and I get some of y'all would like to be that, and that's what y'all would be doing if you were a police or a private investigator. But that's not my ass. I'm not about that life. I cannot stand like the podcast where it's like 10 episodes and it's like every single little tiny thing that happened towards like a certain crime. Sometimes it's not even like a murder. It's like literally like a car crash or something. Or there was this podcast that my friend made me sit through about like a soldier that was like kidnapped and then got rescued. I'm like, I can't. I can't. And that's me personally. If that's your thing, like, live your truth, live your life. Like, I got Minecraft bed sheets. I'm in no place to criticize other people's desires unless you are attracted to serial killers. But, I'm not saying all true crime people are like that. But I am going to be a little bit critical because it's like, okay, there's some genuine, like, important information you can gain from like a true crime podcast. You can learn like how killers think, I guess, which is like a good way to avoid getting killed. Like I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts when my friends were listening to them, and I got some genuine information on like what they look for, how they hunt their targets. And I used to just walk around at night in LA. In a specific area where there's a lot of murders and people that disappear, so I stopped doing that. And we can chalk that up to true crime podcasts, educating me, but I don't I don't understand, like, it's so dark too. Like, I'm not like the type of person like, blood, like, actually, that is a full lie. I like am so squeamish, but that's like with my own blood. Like if I ever had to get like an IV or something and they put like a needle into a vein, nope. But like it truly is just upsetting and disturbing to listen to some of these true crime podcasts. Like, and also Netflix documentaries. I know I'm just like singling out the podcast community. Like it's Netflix too. Y'all are in this shithole as well. Like, I'll listen to them or watch them and like be genuinely upset for the rest of the day. Like I was watching this Dahmer show before bed and like could not fall asleep because I was like, oh my God. Like this is like horrific. Like I just watched someone get cut up and eaten and then their bones put in an oven so that he could smash them up more so he could spread their bone dust. Not exactly the calmest thing to fall asleep to. So I really would like to just take a peek into the minds of people that, listen to true crime on a regular basis, because I feel like you have to shut off some part of your brain to be able to like digest that. Like if you have empathy, you are listening to these episodes and feeling ill or sick afterwards. So the way that people can listen to like binge a whole season of, say, a podcast about like a girl getting murdered and then be like, well, time to make lunch. How do you do that? I'm really just curious. I'm just curious how you do that. Cause not my ass. I listened to 2 episodes. I'm like, I'm never leaving my house again. I'm never going outside. Everyone is gonna find a way to kill me, and I'm terrified. So, also, side note, I just want to say, like, I want to point out, like, a weird difference that me and my friends did notice when we were, like, in our true crime era. The U.S. obviously has a lot of horrific murders, especially with guns, because access to guns is, like, so readily available. Excusez-moi. However, in Canada, where guns are a whole lot harder to get a hold of, we have some real psychotic murders. I talked about this. Oh my god, when was this? This was like maybe 20 episodes ago when it was like still I Almost Died. But there was this murder on the Greyhound bus that I used to take from my mom's house to my dad's house like almost every weekend. And it wasn't the time that I was riding this, but it was like the same scheduled bus. This guy who I guess it was believed he had a mental health crisis. I think he was schizophrenic maybe. And he basically thought the person in front of him was like an alien, and God was telling him on this bus, on this Greyhound bus, to kill him. So he stabbed him to death, cut his head off, and then ate his face. And so that happened on my bus. And it's things like that that really only happen in Canada. And I don't know what it is. I think it's like, you know, we don't have guns in Canada, so we have knives, maybe. And knives are such a more gruesome and horrific way to go. That's why, like, there's all these murders in Canada, which are just so, like, genuinely terrifying. There's so many true crime stories that happen, like, in Canada. And that's like my theory. Sorry, random conspiracy theory. It's because like now I'm not saying like, oh, we need guns, so like these stop happening. No, like we have way less murders like per capita than the US, and that's a direct result of like gun control. But it's like it's so interesting how the times the murders that do happen are like the most horrific things you've ever heard. So back to true crime. It's just a genre that I really can't like get myself into. But it's weird how like sorry, not to like dig on y'all again if you enjoy true crime, but it's like I find it interesting how like socially acceptable it is. And I think there's a genuine like fascination that like pretty much everyone has with like crazy events like this where you know, a person is able to kill that many people. I think everyone is kind of interested in like, A, what is wrong with this person? B, how are they able to do this? And C, like if they're on trial, like can we watch a trial and like watch them get the death penalty or whatever? Or like I think there's a like a desire for people to want to see these like monsters get what's coming to them, I guess, which you can't really do when you've killed 17 people. There's not really a way to match that pain, I guess, or like have them see justice. There's really no justice for that. Even with one murder, I'm acting like 17 murders is like the limit to like no, like even if you kill someone, like I guess you have one life, so you can get the death penalty, and then it's an eye for an eye. But like me personally, I don't believe in the death penalty, but not like, oh, like the death penalty is so harsh, like the government shouldn't be able to kill. No, I believe in like. This is about to sound so crazy, but let me know if y'all think this way. I believe in like keeping monsters like that alive and like making the rest of their lives horrible. I believe if you are a serial killer, or say like a serial pedophile, you should spend the rest of your days in prison being constantly tortured with like horrific screamo music. I think they should have constantly like the lights on so you can never sleep, and your bed literally has nails in it, and they like every month like switch out the nails. I think death is too easy of a solution for serial killers. I don't think anywhere should have the death penalty. I think there should be a system that is able to match the pain. Because this is the thing. Serial killers, and I don't know that much about the psychology of serial killers and psychopaths, but if they don't have, like a lot of them aren't afraid of getting caught, or they're only hiding like the bodies and like hiding everything so that they can keep doing it. But they are very, what is the word? Like, not nihilistic, but they don't care what happens to them. So you're not scaring them by being like, oh, you'll get the death penalty if you're a serial killer, because they don't care. Like, a lot of them are already like maybe suicidal or just have no, like, they don't care if they're caught. So like, we need some sort of system to like genuinely scare them. And, you know, like, if you are going to be a serial killer, you are going to face the rest of your life in a complete state of agony and discomfort, like, at the very least. Like, it's too easy to just execute a serial killer and be like, well, there's that. No! And that's my thoughts on that. I kind of went on a little heated tangent on that, but, so, back to the TikTok people that are making edits. I feel like a lot of these are like also kids, which is so terrifying. Like, hey, don't watch Dahmer if you're like literally genuinely under 18. Like, I'm 23 and it's like hurting my brain. So like, don't watch it, especially if you're if anything like involving murders or serial killers is traumatizing to you, like, especially, don't watch it. And then also, if you see people editing Jeffrey Dahmer on TikTok, hold down on the video and press not interested. Like, try and like wreck it in the algorithm as much as you can, because like damn, it needs to stop. It really is so insane, because imagine like you were the family of a victim that Jeffrey Dahmer killed, and you're just scrolling through TikTok and you see someone literally making an edit of a person playing him, dancing, and with like a fun little audio. That is insane. That is something that is so genuinely insane. So, get it out of there. Get it out of here. Lost your damn minds, honestly. And with that being said, it is time to read some drama stories. Because if I talk about serial killers for another second, I might throw up. But as y'all know, at the end of every single podcast episode, I read some of your drama stories using the hashtag DramaMamaPodcast on Twitter. So if you want me to read a story on a future episode, let me know. Tweet it to me. I love you. I love you. Okay. This one is from at 00-34511. Hashtag DramaMamaPodcast. So basically, a couple days ago, my boyfriend cheated on me with a girl who also has a boyfriend over a game of truth or dare. I asked him why he did that, and this motherfucker said, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I should break up with him or not. I love your podcast, by the way. I mean, damn. Okay, so you said a game of truth or dare. I guess like, I mean, I'm assuming the truth or dare was not like go have like sex full penetration. Like, if you're playing that in truth or dare, like, seek therapy. But I'm guessing it was probably like a kiss or something, which is still cheating, which is still ew. You know, if they felt guilty and felt sorry that they did that, I'd say maybe give them another chance. Like, you know, when you're playing truth or dare, you can be like very maybe caught up in it and like prone to, what is susception? That's not the word. Yeah, like very influenced. And if there's a group of people being like kiss, 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 I don't know. And also it's like for a game, so like hopefully it means nothing. But it sounds like he isn't remorseful if he just said I don't know. So, you know, clearly he's not like really thinking about you and like how that's affecting you. I'd say maybe give him one more chance and be like, what do you mean I don't know? Because that's not the most pleasant thing to find out that I was just cheated on and your response is fucking I don't know. Maybe reach out, and if he still is not remorseful or doesn't give a good apology, and with like plans to like make sure that never happens again, Cut him off. Gotta go. But that was the advice of the day. If you want me to read your drama, use the hashtag Drama Mama Podcast, and I will read it on a future episode. I love y'all so much. Please stay safe. Please take care. I will see you all next Wednesday on this podcast. Oh, also please rate this podcast 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps a ton. I love reading your reviews. And I will see you next week. Bet of the week, it's Joe.